Hi, my name is Leah Curtis, and I am here with the Association for Mental Wellness to talk about our new health campaign called Let's Talk. So this campaign is targeted towards people ages 14 to 27. This is your high school kids, your college kids, just young adults. Maybe you're in this group, maybe you have kids in this group. And for this age group, suicide is the 8th leading cause of death. 1 in 6 are currently experiencing some form of depression. So if you are in this age group, you probably meet someone struggling every day that you go to school. If you have kids in this age group, you've probably met someone who is struggling with mental illness. More than half of all chronic lifetime mental illnesses are diagnosable by the age of 14. And the most important thing to remember is that these numbers are only growing. More and more people are struggling with mental illness. So how do we change this? How do we stop that number from growing as fast as it is? We have to talk. We have to have hard conversations. We have to have mindful and productive conversations. George Co-Racer said that a mindful approach to entering difficult conversations keeps both parties out of the heat of emotions and able to explore the needs, wants, and interests on both sides. So some ways to start a conversation, or even just some ideas for when you do have a conversation, is to send a text. Low effort, but can have a big impact. Just send a simple text. Ask them how they're feeling today, which is number 4. Ask them how they're feeling. If you ask them how they're feeling today, you can really narrow down and give them a way to answer that conversation or that question more specifically. If you ask someone how they're doing, that can be a little hard to answer. So ask them how they're feeling today or how they're feeling right now. 2, try low lighting. Something about low lighting really just makes walls fall away, brings down barriers. Maybe some fairy lights or Christmas lights or a campfire. 3, find a quiet space, a place where you won't be interrupted, where you'll be able to have that full conversation and really make the most of it. There's some things to remember when having that conversation. Is 1, be open. The first thing you need to remember is that a productive conversation requires that you be willing to have that conversation. If you aren't willing to have that conversation, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to be productive, and no change will come. 2, be honest. You have to be honest about how you're feeling, your thoughts, and your behaviors. You can't really control the other side of that conversation, how honest they will be, but you can be honest yourself. If you have thoughts that don't feel like your own, or you've just been in a big funk, be honest about that. Be honest about your behaviors. 3, be understanding. This is probably one of the most important things to remember, is that the person that you're talking to has a life, thoughts, feelings just as complex as you. They have wants and desires, likes and dislikes, people they care about, maybe people they don't like, just like you do. And that also means that you might not always be on the same page. Sometimes when having conversations, they feel the opposite of productive. They feel the opposite of helpful. So it's important to keep trying. As long as you're entering that conversation and keeping that conversation, keeping yourself oriented towards the goal of being loving that person, trying to help them, having their best interests at heart, you'll have some kind of positive impact, even if it doesn't feel like it. If you're having trouble finding someone who will be that person for you, as hard as it is to be open and then not get the kind of feedback or support that you needed, you have to keep trying. There are so many people who you trust that are gonna turn you down that way. There is someone out there who will love and support you in the way that you need. So you have to keep trying. So let's take a minute. Send that text to your friend. We'll count starting right now. Get out your phone. The first person who comes to mind. Hey, how are you doing today? How are you feeling today? I was just thinking about you. This made me think of you. Maybe send them a little picture of something that reminds you of them. Just wanted to check in. There's a lot of ways you can say it. A lot of ways to start that conversation. Send that one text. One conversation can change everything. The fastest and easiest way to make this change is to talk about mental health and wellness with people you trust and care about. You have to ask for help. You have to be willing to provide help and support. That's the only way that we get a change. So, ask someone today. I know we just sent that text, but we can do more. Let's talk.